The Thimble by Michel Tremblay. If Bobby Stone had known what was going to happen that day, he probably would never have got out of bed, and, well, the catastrophe might have been avoided. Bobby Stone wasn't a bad fellow. He worked in an office, drank in moderation, went to Mass every Sunday, and had a weakness for plump women. He was neither old nor young, though he wore a hat to cover an expanding bald spot. Bobby Stone had not the slightest inkling that he was going to be the cause of a catastrophe. Now, my dear lady, please stop the silly game. People are looking at us. He was right. A throng of loafers had gathered around them, and some were beginning to eye Bobby Stone reproachfully, because this woman was weeping and wailing. "Sir, I beg of you," she cried, "take it, take it. I give it to you. It's yours." Bobby Stone didn't want it. He didn't want to have anything to do with it. "What do you expect me to do with it?" he said. "And besides, It's a thing that belongs to women." More and more people gathered on the sidewalk, and Bobby Stone began to sweat. He took out his handkerchief to wipe his forehead, but he didn't remove his hat. "She's crazy, that's it. She's crazy, and all those people looking at us, but I don't want to have her thimble." A man emerged from the crowd and grabbed Bobby Stone by the collar. "So," he said, breathing a rotten smell into his face, "we make women cry in the middle of the street." Bobby Stone was trembling. "But, mister, I don't know this woman. She wants to give me her thimble, and I don't want her thimble. I don't." Really, Bobby Stone had enough. In an abrupt surge of courage, or was it cowardice, he slammed his fist into the face of the man who was threatening him and took off, knocking over 2 of 3 people who tried to stop him. As you might have expected, he worked very poorly that day. The columns of figures swayed on the page, and when he closed his eyes, Bobby Stone saw the strange women offering him the thimble. "It is yours." The 5 o'clock bell rang. Bobby Stone slumped in his desk chair, his tie undone and one hand on his chest. "I never would have believed such a stupid incident. Oh, no, that's too much. Following me to my office." But it was no vision this time. His eyes were wide open. She was sitting in the chair directly in front of him on the other side of the desk. "If you do not take it immediately," said the woman, "I will have to forbid you from taking it, and then you'll run after me and steal it from me. I'm telling you, you'll steal it from me." Bobby Stone, mad with fear, jumped up and ran toward the door. "Very well, then," the woman cried out. "I forbid you to take my thimble." Bobby Stone stopped short. Oh, what a fine thimble. Such a fine, beautiful thimble made out of plastic with tiny dimples in it. A fine thimble. He must have this thimble. Nothing else in the world existed outside of this pink and yellow thimble. He ran after the woman, who pretended to flee, but was careful to lose ground all the while. Smack! And another. "You bitch! So you wanted to keep it all to yourself, did you? The thimble for you and nothing for me. This is for you. Some good kicks, you see, and the back of my hand, and a few with the knee." When he left the building, his clothes were all mussed, and there was some blood on his fingernails, but he had the thimble. It was his, and no one, do you hear, would ever be able to take it from him. He knew the secret of the thimble now. Before she died, the woman had whispered, in the thimble, I have locked the universe." When he awoke the next morning, Bobby Stone remembered nothing. He found a pink and yellow thimble on his night table. What an ugly thimble. He threw it in the garbage. But before he left for the office, Bobby Stone tore a loose button from his overcoat. He found some thread and a needle and thought of the thimble at the bottom of the garbage pail. He went and got it. And so, as not to prick himself while he sewed on his coat button, Bobby Stone pushed his little finger into the little thimble. He squashed the entire universe.